Benvenuti. I'm Anne-Marie Champagne-Bedoira, and in this recording I share a brief conversation I had in the summer of 2014 with my mother, Michelle Adeline, born Sabadini. In this segment, we focus on her father, Luigi Sabadini, who emigrated from Fogagna, Italy to the United States in the 1930s. I was eager to learn how he made his way from the coal mines of Pennsylvania to Detroit, Michigan, a journey shaped by hard work, resilience, and serendipitous family connections that trace back to Fogagna and other nearby villages in the Friuli Venezia Giulia region of Italy. According to family lore, Luigi, who arrived in the U.S. as a teenager on his own, was drawn to my great-grandparents' boarding house in Detroit. The lure? The promise of home-cooked Sunday dinners lovingly prepared by my great-grandmother, Valeria DiGiorgio, and vino crafted by her husband, my great-grandfather, Quirico Ziraldo. Of course, there was also the undeniable attraction of Quirico's daughter, Anita, my grandmother. We also explore Luigi's role in the Navy during World War II and my grandmother Anita's determination to support their growing family during his service. Along the way, small but vivid moments surface, illuminating our family's journey from Italy to America through the hardships of the Great Depression and into the post-war era of hope and prosperity. He was drafted into the Navy. He worked at Pfeiffer Brewery prior to being drafted, so then my mother took his position while he was in
At the brewery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And my grandfather
Grandpa
babysat me while she went to work every day.
Okay.
And then my dad was down at Corpus Christi. He was there till the war ended. And he was working on fixing airplanes and motors, and so he couldn't fight because he was from Italy. He was born and raised there.
Okay.
They allowed foreigners back then. So anyway, they kept him here in America, and he just took care of planes.
Okay. Wow.
My mom worked there for until he came back home.
And you were like 3 when you came back home?
Yeah.
And then when did he get in construction?
Around the 50s, early 50s.
Oh, so the post-war boom.
Right.
Were you living with Quirico?
Yeah, I was still.
The whole family was?
Yeah.
How did Grandpa... So I know Grandpa, he was staying at the one boarding house. So somehow he learns about the Sunday dinners.
Right.
He's 14 when he came over to the United States, right?
About that. He stayed in Pennsylvania for a while with his dad. Then his dad called my grandfather and said, hey,
Like a couple years stayed with him?
You know someplace where my son can stay? Yeah. And get him a job, and I don't know how that all works.
So he ends up at some boarding house,
Yeah.
but then he goes to Sunday dinners, but he's a teenager. He's not 18.
16, 17, 18.
I guess I'm just wondering, how
So
long...
in that picture,
Yeah.
it's about 16.
Okay, so how long was it when he's going to these Sunday dinners before he could ask Grandma to marry him? Did Grandma ever tell you about, like, how he courted her, or...
Tell me, she never liked him in the beginning. He might have been coming around for dinner. I don't know if she saw him or not, because they never hung around down there when all the people came for dinner. They didn't.
So how
she
did...
went to their room here.
How did they get together?
And he started living at the house. That's how
he started living.
Yeah. So she says she was like 17, 18. He's like 3 years older than her, so he was 20, 21. So he must have been already had odd jobs and doing different things.
So he was living at the house, and then he just fell for her.
Yeah.
I wonder if he moved to that house because of her.
Well, my grandma, she felt so sorry for him because he was all here. His parents weren't there. She loved my dad. When I used to go stay with my grandparents, they lived on Middle Point in Detroit. They were just one street across from Dearborn. We were on the border of Detroit and Dearborn.
So they're
yeah.
Okay.
And my uncle was still living then, my Aunt Lonnie and my Aunt
Was
Iris.
this the same house that they had that was the border house or different
No,
house?
different house.
Okay.
They didn't have any borders at that. On Middle Point. It was a colonial box type, salt box type, colonial brick with the aluminum siding at the top or wood. And there were 3 bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom, and downstairs was a living room with formal dining room and a kitchen.
How many homes did they have in their lifetime then? 3?
Those 2.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
So the first home was the boarding house, and that's
So-
the same house that he put the furnace in and built
Yeah,
the fence and got the
right.
dog and the shotgun.
Yeah,
for
the chickens, you raised chickens there, birds, I don't know, everything, cats, dogs. That's what my mom felt. She didn't like. During the Depression, she would go with my grandfather with
So
the
you
car.
so in the Depression, he raised the chickens because they would eat them.
Yeah,
right.
And for those dinners that they would have.
Yeah.
And then he would get one of these fruit carts, put up the produce on it, and go up and down the street selling potatoes.
And grandma didn't like that.
We had to go with him door to door, knock on doors,
Oh,
say,
okay.
do you need any produce today? And that kind of thing. They did that, tried to make money, to feed the family. She said, I will admit, my parents, we had a good roof over our head, and she said we never lacked any food. She said maybe we didn't have the clothing and things of that nature, but she said we didn't, we weren't starving or anything like that. You're good, hardworking people. My grandmother used to tell me when I was little.
Valeria?
She always called me Nina. I don't know why. She never said Ida.
Well, Nina is like little baby. I used to call her Nina when she was first born.
So she
Just
said,
like your little baby.
Yeah.
My little baby.
So she said, always told me don't go near the chicken pen. Mm-hmm. She says they'll bite you, so tell a kid don't go there. You're gonna go there. And I got bit and then drew blood and everything. Went in the house and she got all mad at me because I'm not, in Italian. She's yelling at me. I told you don't go there. Yeah, so my mom and dad got married. Had a very small wedding at San Francisco church. My mom told me they got married. And
Oh, I thought they went to a Justice of the Peace.
No,
yeah,
San Francisco church, and it was a Catholic church in Detroit, old one.
Grazie mille for listening and for joining me on this brief biographical journey. Until next time, may your own stories be rich with connection, resilience, and lots of love.